Right, you need credentials and
All
it takes time to get
we're going to continue. The next team is team number 8. Customer is also Microsoft. This is team OneChat.
Hi everyone, we're Team OneChat, and we're Team 8, and this is one team member. We have here, we have Peter, computer engineer, and another computer science. So today we're going to talk about our senior design project. We're going to talk about our project objective and the solution we propose and technical details and different releases. So Team 8 was challenged to find this problem in the society and help them using technology as an engineering students, what we learned in 4 years in Boston University. And one group we're trying to help is the seniors who are staying independent and staying alone. What the problem is currently, once in a lifetime, there's always one technology going to change the way of the lead forever. If you're at the right time and you catch this thing, you adopt the technology and you make this change easily. And we always left the other group behind, who are not really tech savvy as we are. For example, in today's rapidly developed world, we have us, like all the engineers here, who are super tech savvy. You just catch something and you're able to use it right at the time. And we also have the other groups, like people like our parents, our grandparents. They're not as tech savvy as we are. And the problem with them is not they're not able to do this. It's just like they're not giving the right instructions. For example, once in a while, my parents will call me like something broke in the house, like either change a TV cable or just like some computer parts is broken. And I'm trying to give her instructions, something really simple, like press the reset button. And she'll be like, what's a reset button? Where can I find it? And people feel frustrated trying to explain something technical to their parents. So this is a problem. We have this miscommunication between two generations. And this is definitely a growing problem. As the data shows, we have over 8 million seniors trying to maintain their independence just in America. And the aging market is actually an opportunity that's not really developed. And the problem is these younger programmers, they don't really look into this market because like they don't live there with their parents or grandparents. And so this app market is the one market haven't developed it, and this is a market we're looking into. And the solution we propose is trying to give them a visual feedback. So for the situation I'm trying to help my mom, I wish I could just video chat with her and she'll pick up her tablet or her phone and I can tell her, okay, just go to where the problem is, and I can do superpose a drawing on her camera, and then I'll be like, Mom, see the one I'm drawing, and just press this button instead of having to explain anything to her. And this software has to be super simple. Even a grandma can just pick it up and start to use it. Either just use it for normal chat with your grandparents, or for a situation like this where I'm able to give instructions. So this is OneChat. As you can see, we have 2 users connected by video chat, and you are able to superpose a drawing on the remote camera, and your drawing can be cleared at any time, and the drawing is transferred to the other end and superposed on the other user end. So what differentiates us with what exists in the market? The first one is the simplicity. It's simple enough even a grandma can able to use this. And second one is the superposed drawing feature. In order to accomplish this, we have 3 major modules developed: the drawing module, the video chat module, and we have a connection server. And now we're going to talk each of them in details.
Okay, for the drawing module, what the drawing module allows you to do is it allows you to create a free drawing on the remote video feed. And this can be seen by both users, or seen on both the local and your video chat partner. And the way we do this is we collect the touch or mouse input from the user and translate it into a vector format in the form of a string, so that we transmit it to the chat partner, where it's converted back to a point object and then redrawn. And the redrawn method is it uses the same method that the local machine uses to create the drawing. So it implements a polyline inside of a canvas object. And then the transparent canvas is then placed on top of the video to create the superimposition of the drawing and the video. And for the transmission, we'll go over that in the next slide. For our project, we use the AnyChat API for most of the networking between our applications and our servers. And using this package, we created a video and audio channel using the video chat system inside of a picture box. Yeah. And for the transmitting the data vectors that I mentioned earlier, what we do is we use the the text chat channel that is hidden to the user. So normally you'd be able to chat with your partners. We hid that, and we use that to communicate. Or send our data vectors as strings to our chat partner. Data vectors are then detected, and then they're converted back to point objects, and then to be drawn. I said that it was detected because we also use this same channel to send commands, such as the, if you go back to, if you go back to the other, to implement the clear command, or the clear button, which wipes away the drawings from both of the video and from both video feeds and both machines.
So our initial release relies on a singular server. The client sends a request to the server to get a room number. The server then tries to connect the two requesting clients together via a direct P2P connection. Only if that fails does the actual chat go through the server. This sort of heavy reliance on P2P makes it so that a simple server like the one we have running downstairs is capable of supporting up to 1,000 users.
So the minute we have this idea, we didn't think it within the scope of senior design. We really want to put it into the market and help the people out there. We talked to a lot of people, like professors from College of Engineering, and also people like, also College of Engineering within and also BU, and also people from professional industries. Like one feedback we always get from the industry is that, may I could use your product for our tech support team. So what happened, think about a situation. One robotic company in Massachusetts, they sell their robot like all over the world, and something in Brazil broke down, right? The operator will contact the engineer in Massachusetts trying to figure out where the problem is before they send the robot to a house, like fix it on house. They should like fix it on site first, right? And so the engineer will be using our product, able to point to the operator where exactly the operator should fix or where exactly the problem is. So this is the second marketing people we're trying to target with. Since user experience is our first priority, and we released a 2 edition. One standard edition for the less techy savvy people we talk about, and one is the enterprise edition.
So basically, to address the telemarketing space with a company, which we need to talk to more people, we decided to have a more fully featured version that basically meant having the ability to have multiple connections. Because the way that the simplified version is, once you turn it on, it just works. It's simple, and that's how we envisioned it working for the elderly. But we need more features for an enterprise edition. So the basis of how this works is we set up a Azure database that handles all the buddy list information, and then from there it gets a room number that also gets sent back to any chat server to create individualized rooms for different chat. Okay. And this is an overview of basically how the databases are set up. So we have no password field at the moment, but we can put that in easily. And simple, you can enter your username, and then you log in, and then you can connect to a new user. So we have 4 tables. We have users, friends, an online table, and a 2 chat table. So users are all, you create a user, you can put in the username, and then everybody's given a unique identifier. When they log in, they're added to the online table, and then every user can have a certain number of friends. And so when you log in, your friends are compared to whoever is online already, and the people who are on both lists are clearly your friends who are online that you can talk to at the moment. And those are appended to your buddy list. And then finally, when they want to chat to each other, they can just click, okay, I want to chat to this person. And then a new entry is added to the 2 chat table, which is then used to create the unique room for the chat in. And that basically sums up our project. We think that we stuck with our goal of helping the elderly with the features we included, but we created beginnings of something new and something that's truly useful for society. Thanks.
So you keep referencing making it easier for them. Something that
take these ones, and then we download that, and then the text channel can be like implemented. And they also have something called transparent channel, so we can use the transparent channel to send the factors. But to answer your question, the reason why we don't want that, I don't know if you've seen like a senior actually trying to type something touch screen. It's actually like we monitor, we actually talk to all the seniors who probably going to be our potential users, and we did see this kind of be like one situation they probably don't want to do this, or like a texting stuff. So yeah.
Not arguing that part, just some people who are hearing.
Yeah, this is a possibility, but we decided we're not going to implement it. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
In the enterprise scenario, multiple people are looking at each other.
Oh, this will still be a one-to-one, but you are connecting to a couple people, so you have a buddy, let's say you say like Twitter to connect it to.
I think you went over this quickly, so you may have already answered this question. But so when you make your drawing on the remote video feed, and then the person moves their video, the actual drawing translates with the video.
As of right now, we don't. We tested the Gerald. Essentially, do you want to answer?
Yeah, so that was part of our initial plan to do that. But what happened was with the hardware that we're using to test on, so the idea was to have a tablet to do that you can move around. And I had code kind of ready to do it, but then we realized that the tablet that we were using, and this was like a month or two ago, it didn't have the correct because we were going to use sensors and accelerometer guys were going to use it, and the tablet we had didn't have those sensors on it. So then we just kind of scrapped it because we weren't going to start over, and we could have redone it in good image processing, but given that we were almost done already, we just put that on hold for now.
Yes.
Can you walk me through the initial acquisition and setup for this unit? Hey, I think this is a really good solution to address this problem. Once they have it, then how do they get it set up?
The marketing stuff, we actually have this.
No, you mean actually installing it?
Yeah, I mean acquisition setup.
Okay, so right now it's basically it's a hard-coded thing for the simplified version, but I have the idea of how to easily when you download it, you could just download a double version, two of the same one with a direct connection to they have a set room between those two download instances, so then that would be the connection there.
So the dedicated client will be set up during installation. And then when the senior needs to use it, right? The senior has to have someone to set up for them, right? If it's not people who are doing this. So it's after they install it, all the senior has to do is pick up a tablet and then you're connected. You don't need to do anything.
And would I set up the dedicated rooms? Is that something?
If you want to chat with your grandma, yeah.
Okay, so
You're probably the one helping her, so she helping you, right?
I would like to do that. So yes.
Yes.
What does one of the users see when they turn it on? When they turn the screen on, what does it look like?
When they
Do
turn
have
it
to
on,
select
it
the
will.
body, or how does it look like?
The standard edition, when you turn it on, this is what you see. You have your local camera, you have the remote camera. You don't have to do anything for it. And for the other one, you have a button list, and then will disappear after you're connected. Yes.
So the data model you were just talking about with pairing the two devices initially, does that mean that those two devices are basically forever paired? And if so, do you really need a server?
I guess.
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, so you were just talking about how you initially set up the entire system, and you were talking basically about you download 2 copies of the app at once, and you do some initial configuration to pair them, basically, right? After that initial pairing, is there any way, for example, let's say I give this to my grandmother, and then she loses her device, and I need to get her a new device. Do I have to basically uninstall the app and reinstall it, or is there any way to basically repair 2 devices?
The way how you connect the 2 people together, if you just go into the same chat room, and then that's the way how 2 people connect together when 2 people are in the same chat room, right? And the way how we're saying is during installation, you can just predefine a chat room number where people both going in, and this is the one for senior to use. And we didn't implement this part yet.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. We haven't gotten that far yet, but
like, we don't really have the server like capable of like, do we have like right now probably 5-6 users? Yeah, like on our database, but this could something like to be implemented.
Do you have to use pen with your tablet, or can anyone just prompt?
And it won't be drawn. Yeah.
So I have one more question. I was a little bit confused by this diagram. When you say the Azure cloud, and then you have your server, do you keep is your server on-prem and your cloud directs clients to your on-prem server, or is that architecture everything?
This is.
Oh, yes. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so basically, we handle all the buddy list generating stuff on Azure, and then we take, when we get a root number for like two users, we put that back into the API for AnyChat.
Okay.
So that comes back down to the client.
You could move everything to the cloud.
We could. We don't have the budget for it right now.
What is the level all the way to the side? Does it say?
That's basically the Azure.
Yes.
May I mention this? AnyChat is open source.
It is open source, but if you want to get a professional development license, you can get from them. Then it's like they open the source code, yeah, for the server. And then right now we have the limitation. I think like the number of people, like connection limitation. That's why we don't really have a lot of users in our database, and we have limitation of time as well.
So is there licensing that?
Yeah, you need to get license in order for it to run like professionally. It's out of scope of our budget right now. Yes.
What is AnyChat doing for you? And like, where's the interchange boundary between like what you guys built on top of AnyChat and AnyChat?
This is the AnyChat API we did for video chatting. Basically, things like how to trigger like a video chat and all do like, these signal transformation stuff. We don't do that because this is a really well-developed technology. What would be really, we don't want to do this like in the student design. And what we want to add is use AnyChat to build a video chat software and add a superposer drawing feature specifically needed for our customer. Instead of doing the whole technology new, yeah. Yes.
It is a multiple grandchildren scenario, right? With one grandma. Not just one grandchild, one grandma.
I guess that you should yeah, if you like, yeah.
There's nothing limiting you from running multiple instances of the app on one class.
Yeah.
It's just each application will be isolated to one person, so she would have one icon that would be connected to her granddaughter.
Oh, I see. So it's still in pairs at the moment, at least. It's still in pairs.
For seniors version, yes, but like for the enterprise
Multiple
version, you have
pairs.
to.
Okay, I got it.
Why don't you use like?
Because we said our competitors, we have the traditional video chat software. Two things we are differentiate with them is one is a super simplified UI. The second one, we have the superposer drawing feature. And the other competitor is like, you can superpose a drawing, but like they limit it to the VU specific platform, and it's for fun to use, like for fun. It's not really designed for seniors to use. And they just released it last year. Like, people are realizing like senior market is a huge market out there. Like people start to enter this, but we had this like, last semester.
One more question.
One of the challenges with these kinds of chat applications is bandwidth, and how much networking communication bandwidth you have. How much additional bandwidth are you imposing on the system by requiring the transmission of these extra symbols?
Actually, not that much because we just use a text message channel. Just think about like a Skype or like a video chat as well as texting, and that's the same thing. And we're not really like doing a lot of sending.
So you're converting the image into text coordinates or something?
No, when we get touch input, you get a point vector, right? And then the drawing module is separate from that, so you draw locally, and then you just send the point vector, change to a string, and send to the other end. And the other end just takes this point vector and draw locally within the software. So you're not really sending any images or anything, you're just sending a couple strings.
Okay, thank you.